Hi everyone. So in the previous lesson, we explored the internet simulator where each of you were connected to one another, to another person by a single wire. And, I want you to think about what the potential problems of this setup were. We did kind of allude to it at the end of last class that, what if the wire breaks down? What if you have a lot of information that wants to go through that one wire? There are a lot of potential problems. How many wires would you need if you had to have a single wire for every single person to whom you wanted to connect or with whom you wanted to connect? Today we're going to build a physical representation of a computer network to address some of these concerns. And normally this lesson I do with string. And because of Corona, we're just going to try and improvise and work and create strings on Google Slides. Okay, so you will be in groups of about 5 each, and you're going to, on a slideshow, you're going to try and insert strings in various locations, and I'll show you what that's going to look like. Let me just pull this up for you. Hold on. Here we go. So you'll be in a group, you'll put your group name, and then you'll have each letter represents a person in the group, and you'll insert lines, and the way you insert lines is up here, okay? And you can insert curvy lines with this tool here. So it's this icon right there. Okay, let's go back to this. So the guidelines, only 2 people can be connected by a single string, so you wouldn't have multiple across like the same line. You wouldn't have multiple strings, and you can be connected to multiple people at the same time via multiple strings. You'll have 3 minutes to work on this. If you, for whatever reason, were absent, I still want you to then work independently on your own Google slide. It's going to take you a little bit more than 3 minutes because you're not working with a group, but I do want you to go through this process. So if you did miss class for some reason, I do want you to work on this, and this will be on Google Classroom. Okay, don't be fooled by the word directly, okay? It just means that you're connected in some way to be able to speak to somebody else. Okay, so the guideline number 1, strings cost money. So try to use the least number of strings possible. Okay, challenge number 2 is a group create a network that uses the least number of strings possible. 3-minute timer. Strings can be cut, which might disconnect people from the network. You have to think about this. As a group, create a network that keeps everyone connected, even if one of the lines is cut. I'm not asking if 2 of the lines are cut, but if one of the lines is cut, how can you create a network that will still keep everyone able to speak to one another? And then, okay, direct connections are faster than long paths with indirect connections. As a group, create a network that you feel balances all 3 of these guidelines. You'll have 10 minutes for that. Thinking about the 3 guidelines, what is the strength of the network your group created? What is a weakness for the network your group created? And if you think that the engineers who designed the internet didn't just literally do what we're doing now, got in a room and talked about these things, this is how the internet was planned. So while it might seem that you're just going through an exercise for fun, or just to kind of jog your intellect as far as understanding of the internet, this is how it was planned for it to work. A lot of trial and error. Okay, and here I do want you to spend some time on this. This would be something that you should study and really kind of get to know. Computing device is the machine that can run a program, and this includes computers, tablets, servers, routers, smart sensors, and more than that, okay? Computer system is a group of computing devices and programs working together for a common purpose. A computer network is a group of interconnected computing devices. So if you see this system, okay, looks a little different than this system. Because in this system, the computers are, a computing system can be a computer network, right? But it also doesn't have to be. So if you look right here, this is that, computer A doesn't necessarily speak to computer B directly. Okay, a computing network is a group of interconnected computing devices capable of sending and receiving data. Okay, this isn't necessarily the same thing. This is more like this computer feeds information here. This computer feeds information here. Okay, path is a series of connections between computing devices on a network starting with the sender and ending with the receiver. And the path can be different, right? Here, this computer, the path is from here to here, but as you can see, it could have also been from here to here to here to here to here to here. Okay? And how would you use these words to describe today's activity? Okay, let's go back. Bandwidth, I'm sorry. It's the maximum amount of data that can be sent in a fixed amount of time, usually measured in bits per second. Okay, so it's how much data can be sent per second is usually how it's measured. Okay.